Hey y'all, it's your girl Gabrielle, and we are back with another season of Get Your Mind Right. Woo, 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 woo.
Yes, girl.
Sponsored by the Power of One, and today we'll be talking about double standards. And to the left of me, I have two lovely ladies over here. If you guys would like to introduce yourself.
Hi, everybody. My name is IMANNI Sharia Thomas. And I am so excited to do this podcast with you.
Hey, okay, girl. What do you do?
So me, I am an artist. I am a creator. I've been running my own photography business for 2 years now. It's called Nini Collections.
Okay.
I do acting, modeling. I'm currently in school at MSU, Metro State University, for my BA in theater arts, hoping to do acting, do movies. You know, I'm a movie star. So.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, and who do we have over here?
Hi, I'm ARIE. So I would say I'm kind of like a permaculture baby. So I studied permaculture design. So I'm kind of like gardening. I'm an artist. I write poetry. I paint. I do ceramics, and I currently actually have my own perfume out right now. It's called Terra Soleil, and you can check it out on my Instagram, ARIE, ARIE.safari.
Yes.
For sure, for sure. Okay, so if you guys don't know already, what the show is about is basically just about overall wellness and health of self and having conversations and asking questions that usually people don't really discuss or on that matter and stuff like that. And so the topics that I like to talk about or that we discuss here on Get Your Mind Right are double standards, mental health, and physical health. And we just like to touch bases on those three topics in terms of just like other people's opinions and stuff and their viewpoints on when it comes to like health and just everyday life and what's going on in society right now. And also what we like to do here on Get Your Mind Right is we like to do this thing called 3 questions of the day. And basically I ask 3 questions that's based on the topic. And so today we'll be talking about double standards. So I'll be asking questions, specifically 3 questions on that topic. And yeah, we'll just get honest, open opinions. And then at the end of the show, you guys, the guests, are now able to play the game. Just click the link either in the comment section or in the bio. And it's basically just going to ask you 5 questions on the topics that we just talked about today, kind of like giving you a little bit more information, a little bit more sprinkle of, some knowledge at the end of it. But all right, let's get started. Are you guys excited? I'm excited.
Yes, I'm
I know
excited.
this is episode
I'm ready.
1. Like I'm excited. It's about
This is
to
my
get
first podcast.
I know, right? It's about to get nitty gritty. All right. Question 1. This one's about to get heated. Okay. It's not that serious, but I mean it's kind of serious. Why is submission to your partner deemed as something negative?
Oh, that's a good one. I'm gonna say, I feel like, I don't know. I don't meet a lot of people who deem it negative, though. Like,
Okay.
I think it might be a 50-50 depending on the relationship and the person.
Right.
Like, I've definitely, don't hate me for this, I feel like modern feminists see submission as a negative versus people who aren't necessarily, like, giant feminists. They don't mind submitting in a relationship. Like, they're okay with being submissive.
Right. And I just feel like in society and like nowadays it's deemed as something like negative, especially with like, do you guys remember that whole like interview with like Cam Newton's wife where she was like basically like, oh, I cook for my man, I clean for my man, I pack his laundry and unpack his laundry, and like the internet went crazy like, girl, I ain't doing none of that, like why are you doing all that, like yada. And then it's just like it just really makes you think as to like where we're steering in terms of like kind of like masculine and like feminine a little bit. I feel like roles have been reversed, and I feel like that's just due to like the household and stuff. There's not a lot of males in the house, so you tend to pick up on women's tendencies a little bit. But I just feel like I don't know, what do you guys have to say about that?
Overall, for me, submission to your partner it could be a negative to
depending
me.
on the situation.
It just depends.
That's what I'm saying.
Because when you think about a submissive woman to her man, that's just not really the way it's supposed to be. Like, we were all created equal,
right?
Both men and females.
Everybody plays a part.
So I feel like everybody has a part. We're a partnership. We are teammates more than just I'm submissive for your love. You know what I'm saying? Like, it comes a point to where it's like we need to just love each other and basically
just like, I would say, just like not even accept the rules that were made or like were put in place, but it's just more of just like
there shouldn't be that. I guess that's what I'm trying to say. Like, there shouldn't be roles in
right,
like,
exactly.
because we can both cook, we can both clean, literally. We can both collectively be a team, instead of just being submissive. But at the same time, it can be a positive in certain ways.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Depending on the connotation, you know what I mean?
Depending on the moment, depending on what you're doing. Like, sometimes you want to be sexy and submissive to your man on some, come here, come some of that loving. But as far as, like, a housemaid or, oh, yeah, baby, I'll cook,
I'm not doing all that.
This,
I'm
it's like, all that. No, that's just not the way it's supposed to be.
Right, literally.
It's like me, I'm in a relationship with my man, and we don't do the submissive roles. Like, he does not want me to be a submissive woman to him. He wants me to be myself, my most authentic self.
And that's what you want in a relationship at the end of the day. You don't want somebody degrading your character or like having certain boundaries or like expectations set in place. I mean, obviously have, you know, morals and values for yourself, you know what I mean? You want what you want at the end of the day. But you know what I mean? It's just like somebody who's coming in and trying to like change your whole situation, you know what I mean? It's just like,
or play that power dynamic.
Yeah.
It's like if the man has more power than the woman.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. It's definitely not a negative thing, but I just feel like in terms of like this generation and where we're going, it's deemed as negative, especially because everybody's losing their mind in terms of relationships. It's getting a little rowdy. Anybody knows about the Christian Blueface Rock relationship?
Oh,
boy, now that is a toxic and karmic relationship that they need to get out of. Now, question 2. Okay, question 2. Is the over-sexualization of women's sexual lifestyle liberating or detrimental to our gender?
That's
No, I got these questions, lined up. Yeah, I was like, it took months in advance because I was like picking little things that like happened in the world, and I was like, ooh, let's talk about that.
Okay,
For me, let's talk about that.
I think for women, it's liberating, but for men, it's not.
Okay.
Simply because at the end of the day, I think women are able to just see women as people. Like, we're just humans. We're just a person. While men, first and foremost, they will always see a woman's body first. Like, they're seeing you through the eyes of sexuality, and they don't know how to just see women as people.
Right.
So it's like, oh, because she's showing all of this skin, automatically I have to see her through a sexual lens, instead of just being like, oh, that's a person who is just dressing however they want to dress, you know?
Right.
Because I feel like a woman can look at another woman who's dressed sexually and be like, her outfit's bomb, you know? Like, you don't have to feel that physical attraction that a man would be seeing. Because a woman can be bi, look at another woman who's dressed, you know, sexually and be like, she's fucking fire, but it doesn't have to be through a sexual way.
Right.
So,
I mean, it's just when it comes to terms of like that, and especially like where we're going now, you know what I mean? A lot of women are sexually liberated, you know what I mean? A lot of women are becoming OnlyFans and like sex workers and stuff like that. And it's just like, in terms of like that situation, you know what I mean? It's just like a lot of them are like getting married and like having kids and stuff. And I mean, they have like a whole lifestyle like outside of that situation. But it's just like, what do you guys, I don't know.
I think that's very interesting.
Especially with like celebrities, do you think it's like this image that's being put on us in a way due to the fact of social media, or do you think this is genuinely like liberating in a way?
Okay, when it comes to celebrities, no, you can go.
She's like, oh, celebrities.
Well, for me, it's like far as women, you know, putting themselves out there in that sexualized way on social media and stuff. I don't know, maybe it's liberating,
right?
But at the same time, it's like I feel like a lot of women do that for attention. You know, showing their booty in the mirror. Like for me, I just have a lot of...
To post a picture online is meant for you to get attention at the end of the day.
It's
meant for you to get likes. It's meant for people to comment.
There's a line. Like for me, I just have a certain type of moral, a certain type of standard for myself that I hold myself to, you know? Like maybe other women are comfortable doing it.
Right.
But for me, it's
like
just
you have a business, you know what I mean? You can't be out here. It's just about my
representation, how I want people to see me.
Yeah.
You know, because at the same time, when you have these females posting themselves in this, you know, naked or whatever the case may be, you have to understand that men are going to sexualize you whether you want it or not.
That's true.
True.
And it's just all about how you want to be viewed as a woman. And for me, naked and just wanting to show off, for me, I'm not judgmental.
Right. I'm like, whatever floats your boat.
Do you.
Whatever does you, I'm going to cheer you on from the sidelines.
It's just not for me. It's just not for me because I really care how I show up in a society. You know?
Yeah,
that's just
for
me.
Sure. Definitely. Image is important. Like, upon first, like, impressions and stuff. Besides first impressions, image is, you know what I mean? You can't go to a business interview in booty shorts and a crop top, you know what I mean? Off bat, they're gonna be like, what the heck is she doing in here? She does not look like a business lady. But then, like, when you start hearing her talking, You know what I mean? She's all about business.
She's all about
business. You know what I mean? But it's just like
that's true.
stepping into that mindset of just knowing what's appropriate and like what's not kind of thing. But
Yeah.
what were you gonna say? You said celebrities.
Just not even apart. Well, not just celebrities. I feel like women on OnlyFans. I don't think it's only for attention. Like from a capitalistic point of view, come on, man. Men are lustful. Men are going to chase your body, regardless of if you're wearing a turtleneck
or not,
or you got your titties out. Like,
right.
That's the fact. And I feel like a lot of women, they know this, so they'd rather just capitalize on the fact that they know men are lustful. They know that men are slaves to their physical needs, first and foremost. So why not just make money from a man who's gonna stare at your titties regardless of if you're wearing a crop top or a turtleneck, you know? And I feel like it definitely gave a lot of women the freedom to become financially stable and free.
For sure.
Because not everybody can be good at business like that. You know, like not everybody can just go to school. Not everybody can learn a trade. So I feel like everybody's going to find something that they're good at, something that tickles their feathers. And so I'm just like, listen, man, do what you want to do. Like,
yeah, for sure.
I think it's good that women are able to be financially secure regardless of what they're doing. Okay. Because a man can hate, but at the end of the day, you're not in her bank account.
Period. Hey. No, okay. But here, let me play a little devil's advocate, just a tad bit. So when I ask the question, is it detrimental to our gender? It just brings up Ice Spice for me, due to the fact that she's not a good I mean, like, the song is catchy, right?
You thought I was feeling you?
Yeah. That
nigga much.
So she's like this new upcoming rapper now here in, like, Drake signed her on and stuff. And it's just like, the song is catchy. You know what I mean? But then we're, like, really missing out on pure potential talent due to the fact that she has body. Like, the girl has straight body, okay? It's giving legs, hips, body, but then at the same time we have people like GABRIELLE and stuff who are literally getting dragged on the internet for her appearance but not really listening to like her music, and she actually can rap. Like, I personally actually really do like her in terms of the female rapping industry, like especially when it comes to like, and that's where I'm kind of like going with this a little bit, like in the female rap industry, a lot of the female rappers are just talking about just basically a porn star, a porno in a song, and it's just like there's only a few rappers on my list who I personally listen to who are genuinely rapping and not just talking about
and have a purpose.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
You know?
So it's just like, I don't know, what do you guys have to like say about that kind of thing, you know?
Personally, I kind of fell off listening to rap because I've told you this.
Yes.
I think words are affirmations. Like, words are affirmations, and music is a form of affirmation. What you put in is what you're going to put out. And I feel like a lot of rappers, they're singing about gang violence, sex, cheating, lewdness, all this sexuality stuff. And so this is all people are consuming right now, which is why I feel like we are the way we are right now, because everyone's just been consuming this over the years. So it's been normalized. So everyone's thinking, oh, if this is what so-and-so's singing about, obviously everybody else has to be doing this. So they're doing it, you know? Like, I feel like back in the days, people used to be singing about love songs, R&B.
I know,
it was
instruments,
there was instruments,
and jazz, and drums.
And now nobody's really putting out love songs like that anymore. Like, even the rappers used to be rapping about love, you know? Now it's just cheating, big booty this, big booty that, I got all these hoes. First of all, having hoes are lame. Like, I just think it's so lame right now. I think the music is lame right now. And I think it's leading the younger generation astray, because these kids are thinking, oh, these adults are singing about this lifestyle, so this is the lifestyle I want to live. Right, but you gotta like step
out of that mindset. Like, these aren't like real people at the end of the day. They're celebrities. Money, you know what I mean? For real, they're trying to make a profit off of the unfortunately song. Your small-minded brain, and then like you know what I mean? It's just like that whole thing in itself. So
like a lot of music in this generation, it's no distinctiveness. You know what I'm saying? Like, everything sounds the same. So auto-tune.
They're all beefing with each other. Like,
you know, and it's really important to know what you're listening to.
For sure.
Yes.
It really is.
because you will catch yourself thinking like these songs, and if you don't even take a moment to just do some introspection to like catch your train of thoughts, you know,
Right.
when you're like going off like into these things these songs are talking about, you can really jack up your life. And that's what I feel like a lot of people don't realize, you know, is
Right.
that songs
They're
can
creating
really
this
influence
lifestyle.
you.
That's what I'm saying. It's
Exactly.
they're influencers. They're creating this lifestyle for you to be influenced by, you know?
And when you listen to all that trash, like all the time, just all that toxic, like
Right.
energy, it just affects how you move in society, how you think. You know what I'm saying? Because
My girl
affirmations,
full of real on
that's
the screen.
real. That's real. Affirmations, and it's like you want to make sure you're listening to things with meaning and,
Yeah.
and things that are positive, because it puts you on a whole different frequency.
For sure.
Exactly. And I mean, I understand why like people will listen to rap that's talking about violence and stuff like that, because people want to be heard, you know.
Right.
And some people have been through things that these songs are talking about.
Right.
You
It's
know,
through
and people
emotions and stuff.
exactly, their emotions can heavily relate to these songs. But I feel like if that's all you're listening to, you're just creating a pattern for yourself.
Yeah.
That's self-sabotage, you know, like you're not opening your mind to the fact that you can do better. Better
Right.
things can come, because you're just stuck on these negative emotions, because these songs are bringing out consistently these negative emotions.
Right. And we like touched basis on like mental health and like affirmations and stuff in like last season and stuff. So I'm actually kind of happy that you brought that back up. You know what I mean? It's just like stuff like that. That's literally what this show is about, you know, being able to have these conversations and steer people, not even in the right direction, but just like get that open, just open their minds a little bit more to just like what is outside of societal norms and stuff like that, you know. So I'm happy you brought that up. We're doing good, guys. I mean, how you doing so far? Nobody's commenting. Why? We have one viewer. Honestly, people start commenting, I want to say, like a little bit towards the end. Depends. Sometimes they engage in the conversation, sometimes they don't. But yeah, no comments. It's okay. Fine, guys. Fine. You don't have any questions or anything to say. That's fine. All right, and now we are on to our last question of the day.
All right.
Okay. Why is it okay for Black men to date outside their race, but if a Black woman does it, it's a problem? I'm just like, it's just, well, what do you guys have to say on that? I'm not saying that's my opinion. It's just a question. What do you guys have to say about that? It's just like...
But when you say that, though,
okay,
how is it a problem? Because people do it all the time.
Right, but in terms of, like, I have nothing wrong with interracial dating at all. That's not the thing. That's not the problem at all. Like, I have no issues against interracial dating. It's just if you're stepping into that mindset of, like, I don't like myself, or I want to wash out my race, or, you know what I mean? I don't want... Like, it's just like, it's an internal... That's what I'm saying. It's a slippery slope for sure. It's like... this push-pull energy in terms of like interracial dating, especially when it comes to Black men, because when like Black men date outside their race, it's mainly due to the fact that they just don't like Black women at all. You know what I mean? And that's probably like a small percentage, but it's a big small percentage, and it's affecting a lot of us because those influences, talking to other people about it, and it's just, I don't know, what do you guys have to say on that question? It's a harsh question to ask.
I understand where you're coming from, because honestly, when I moved from Jamaica, I had a childhood friend where he hit me up. And he said some very nasty stuff. And I remember a part of it was, he was just like, oh, Black men aren't good enough for you now that you moved abroad. Like, you moved to America, you're just going to be out here sleeping with all these white men, all this stuff. And I was just like,
slow your
first
roll.
of all, like, we haven't even talked in a long time, and this was literally the first thing he messaged me after us not having in contact over a few years.
Just came in ready for violence. Like, what?
And I've actually never even dated anybody, you know? So the fact that, like, he came at me, like, just
so aggressive
over something that I haven't even done.
Right.
I was just like, wow. So I feel like Black women definitely do get a lot of heat for dating outside their race versus Black men. Like, and Black men, I feel like, tend to date outside their race for all the wrong reasons.
For all the wrong
Black
reasons.
women, when they date outside their race, time and time again, I have heard, oh, he treats me better.
Yeah.
I have heard so many black women talk
like a
about,
broken record.
A white man will gas me up more than a black man ever will. He will tell you how you were his Nubian princess and all this stuff, yo.
Yeah.
He will literally gas you up to the gods. While a black man will just be like, you're looking all right.
Or just you're not looking the societal norms as to what society has put for black people to look like. You know what I mean? You're not rocking the 30-inch weave. You don't have the eyelashes and the long nails and stuff like that. You know what I mean? It's like this persona that has been put on us and our appearance in terms of the dating world. When it comes to dating outside your race or dating the same race, it's actually kind of hard a little bit. It's like this weird, I don't know. It's like, I don't know. What do you have to say, IMANNI? You over here deep thinking. She hasn't said a word.
I'm trying to think, because when I think of black women, I think of all of the stereotypes that other races have put on us.
Exactly.
We're loud, we're ghetto, we're a lot to deal with. So it's kind of like, I got some thinking to do.
She's I gotta think about that one.
I have to think about that one, because that's a hard, it's not an easy answer to that question.
Exactly. It's it all literally Ari said, it's a slippery slope, but it all just falls back in this turmoil cycle of society norms, and then just
but
crazy.
Honestly, though, I will say, for every black man that's out here having mixed kids, you're doing a good job, because the more black people that intermingle with other
you said
races,
that already. Yeah,
we're gonna turn everybody black. If black people have kids with all the other races, everybody will be black.
Everybody
and then you can't
be
racist because we're all black.
Because we're all black. Yeah, Ari's little theory over here.
That's just my theory, but I'm all for black love too,
For sure, and it's just I don't know, in terms of interracial dating, that's what I'm saying. I've never dated outside my race, and it's now that I'm getting older and in the dating world, it's just maybe I should, because I'm not seeing any, I wouldn't say any progress. And I mean, we're all still young, you know what I mean? We all have time for marriage and kids and all that and stuff like that. But it's just should I start steering or looking otherwise? But it's just this hold of wanting to have black love and a black family and black generational wealth and just all that is what's keeping me wanting to push for more, because I don't know.
I feel like that can be experienced culturally, though.
That's what I was just gonna go.
Because, I've never, I've gone on dates, but I've never dated someone consistently. But I have gone on dates with people of different races who were culturally all different. And I will say that to me was a good experience, because I know now how people of different cultures treat women. And I would say I didn't really look at it as from a racial point of view, but if I
it's their traditions and their religion, the culture is what makes the man the man.
With a Filipino, a Black American, Cuban, Mexican, I've pretty much tried every culture at this point. And I will say they're all different culturally. So I would say don't limit yourself to thinking about it race-wise, but just culturally. If you can go out there and if you want to stick to black love, go ahead, babe. You can find your black love in different cultures. There are black men in Europe. There are there are black people everywhere. There are black people in Asia. You can experience that different culture. It doesn't just have to be through a race where you're going to experience different cultures.
Yeah.
And I feel it's just America, too, at that. You know what I mean? America's views on marriage and relationships and love in general. I just feel it's because we live in America.
For me, I feel I've always wanted that, black love, that black story. And I've been with a few, black men. And there was a point in time in my relationship life where I'm you know what? Maybe I do need to try.
That's what I'm saying. Maybe I need to try something different.
I really want to agree with your point. It's all about the cultural aspect of the man. You know what I'm saying? Because the man I'm with now, a lot of people may think he's black or African American, but he is so cultured into the Indian roots. So it's how he even treats a woman is completely different. So I definitely have to agree with that. It's all about the culture of the man.
I'm not hating on American men or anything, but I will say men raised in American culture treat women
Like,
not
you're
as
supposed to be
well.
submissive,
And
though.
like trash.
I know, I feel
And
like they
there's
treat
some-
women like men. Like, they literally treat, but not in the sense where they hold you to the same respect, standard, and dignity.
Ooh.
They treat you like a little that they just want to bully you, you know? Like, it's like, literally, like, grown men treat women like just little children. Like, they can just bully the hell out
Children,
of
or
you.
if they're like so superior over women.
Yeah, it's that power struggle for sure. But we have some comments. That's what I'm saying. I'm like, people start to comment during the end. I don't know what's up with y'all. So we got Mr. DG. He says, get your mind right. And then he said, would y'all date outside your race? I mean,
Yes.
I do like me a Mexican boy. I'll tell you that. Okay, or a white boy who looks like Prince Eric from Ariel. I like them brunettes with the blue eyes. So holla at me if you like that.
For me, that's not even in the question of thinking about that, because I'm in a happy relationship with my man.
Period.
So
She's like, that's not even.
that's not even.
That's out the.
That's out the
window. And then build. Oh wait, sorry. One more
I
time.
was just saying, I think fine comes in every color.
Preach.
Like, so I just don't think it's really about race. It's just who you find attractive naturally. Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. I was like, it's just like I asked that question as harsh as I did because I just wanted to see, you know what I mean, your opinion and stuff. But that's obviously not how I feel. I just asked these crazy questions because that's what this is about. But Build and Grow says, what can the Black community do to come together and be one again? That's gonna be years of work.
Honestly,
I would say.
Okay, go ahead. You got it, girl. Go ahead, girl.
I would just say I've noticed on social media it's a lot of blame game going on. We're literally on a merry-go-round of just a blame game where men are blaming women for not being all this in a bag of chips, and women are blaming men for being staler than a bag of chips, you know? And instead of both communities coming together and saying, okay, I understand that this is my downfall, and I understand that this is my downfall,
and this is
and
what
how
we can work on together, because it's not a me and you situation, it's a we.
Exactly.
When are we going to become
not,
a we?
It's not me
us.
against you. It's not a competition. It's not me versus you. It's how can we all do good together. Literally. But I feel like this comes from parenting too, because a lot of our parents...
It all starts at home. It all starts at home. We're trying to break generational curses here, okay?
See,
a group of women trying to break generational curses, because I rebuke, okay? Rebuke.
For Black people to really all come together, though, the man needs to value the woman and understand the importance of the woman, because the woman is the one who's going to have the baby.
Thank you, Imani.
The woman is the one
she's
who's
going to carry your legacy.
The generation.
She's going to create your legacy.
So if you have that stable family, your kids will be raised with that way. And it just creates an ongoing legacy of family. I think that's where the Black race needs to get back to, is family.
But I mean, even in the typical two-parent family doesn't mean that they're healthy. And like that's my point, is a lot of us, some of us, like we could have been raised by two-parent households, but we were raised by people who literally, I feel like Black parents treat children like Sims. They tell you to do something and they expect it to be done, but they don't reason with you like an intellectual. They don't reason with you like a person. They treat you like a robot, like a doll, you know, like what I say goes and it's my way or the highway, you know, like they're not talking to you like you're actually a person, you know, like I feel like you can reason with children at their level and they can understand where you're coming from, like, because like telling a child because I said so does not satisfy their minds, does not satisfy their intellectual capabilities, because you're dumbing your child down to the fact of because I said so is enough to placate you. And you create followers by doing that, because you don't even give your child the chance to talk and reason with you. And so now in the Black community, no one's listening. Everyone's talking, but no one's listening to understand. Literally. No one's listening to comprehend. So the moment you tell somebody about themselves, automatically they stop listening. And they're just like, oh, because you're saying all this in a negative view, I'm just going to stop listening to you. And I'm just going to continue this whole blame game, instead of listening to somebody and saying, dang, you know, what you said could have been right. I'm going to go do some introspection, see how I can, like, fix that, do better, and then come back to you and see how we can do better.
Period.
You know, it's just nobody wants to take accountability, and I feel like that's the biggest part of the Black community.
Big thing.
Everybody runs from accountability, and so it's just like, oh, I'm gonna hate on you and blame you for this, and that, but you don't even want to be accountable
for your own actions. Like,
exactly.
Life is about choices, okay? Life is about the choices you make. Nobody's forcing you to do anything, you know what I mean? In terms of how you want to move, your life decisions and stuff. Nobody's saying you have to do it this way, do this, that, and the third. You know what I mean? Life is just solely about the choices that you make.
As an individual.
Preach.
You know, so when you have so many people in the Black community talking about slavery and all this thing that has oppressed us and how we're still oppressed by the white man,
and it
ain't
definitely
nobody
has. But then we have people like Telfar who are doing great things and having stuff like a couture bag. You feel me?
That's what I'm saying. It comes to a point where you as an individual have to make your own path. You have to make your own way. You got to want to make these good decisions for yourself. What do you think?
As an immigrant, I do see the perspective of how the government comes into effect of how people
actually, someone just asked that in the comments.
I've noticed just from different areas, like how different states have different cities and different districts and stuff like that. Like, schools in the poorer neighborhoods don't have as many resources as wealthier schools. And so I've noticed the educational gap between children who go to low-income schools versus high-income schools. Because when you go to, like, a private or a high-income school, they're teaching you Mandarin, you know? Like, they got all these different classes that you would have never even dream of taking. Versus a low-income school, they can't even keep the English teacher.
Yeah,
you know?
literally.
You got teachers selling kids drugs. You got teachers bringing kids in the gangs. You got teachers fucking kids. Like, why? For what? You know? And I feel like a lot of these areas are underfunded itself by the government because they're public schools, and Americans just don't like tax. They don't like paying tax. They don't like funding their own community to better themselves as a whole. So nobody's even thinking about how can we better the public school system for everybody.
Well, that's because Black people are stuck in this materialistic mindset that having a pair of Jordans is better than investing back into the community. Or getting a chain is better than investing back into the community. Or just into a business idea that you have, you know what I mean? That's going to betterment all of us. And I'm not saying you have to, you know, clean the community up yourself. I'm just saying, you know what I mean? It's just those steps and just being an idol or a role model for other people to step up to the plate as well. But we have 2 more comments. One from Johnny Doe. He says, great conversation, ladies. And so who is to blame for the division in the Black household? Kind of what you were already touching bases on just a little bit.
I think it's both parts. Like, this is exactly what I'm running from. I don't think we should be blaming anyone.
Nobody's to blame.
There is no blame to be made. You know, like,
I mean, well, just a little bit.
Like,
just
we should all be able to be accountable. Because when you come to somebody and be like, I'm blaming you for this, now you're running from accountability. Because you are putting all the problems onto them. Everything, you're putting all the cause and effect onto them instead of saying, okay, this is a problem that we need to fix, and I'm not blaming you for it, but I'm seeing that this is a problem that's affecting us both, so we need to fix it. Because I feel like the moment you come at somebody instead of like a you instead of a team, like a I, we, people get defensive and they stop listening and they automatically just like they tune you out. But the moment you come at somebody as like a team and saying this is something we all need to work on, I feel like people are a lot more receptive. So I would say definitely don't look at the Black community as like who do we blame for this. Just think of it as how can we all be accountable for this? How can we all take responsibility?
Rise up
exactly and do
from
better.
This and do better. Yes. All right. Well, I think that is a great way to end this conversation. Thank you guys so much for watching and commenting and being here and being so supportive and just being here for season 6 of episode 1. Thank you, ARIE and IMANNI, for coming on. And guess since we're not doing it's a new season now, so we're not doing the Kahoot game with us. We will be doing a Kahoot game for you guys, and it should be in the comment section or in the bio, and it's only 5 questions, and it's a fun little thing to do at the end that you can also interact with, and basically it's just going to be topics about what we discussed today. So yeah, that's about it. Peace out, and don't forget to get your mind right. Have a good day, y'all. Bye. Bye.
I think there wouldn't be anyone above anyone as there is now. There wouldn't be a certain people above someone in that meaning. There wouldn't be, you know, laws that benefited someone else and didn't benefit another person. It would be all set where, you know, we'd have this talk where it's everyone's equal, but it would actually be where everyone is equal and all held to the same amount of accountability no matter who you are.
Power of one in terms of community means to me allowing ourselves to be uncomfortable in order to be comfortable with each other later on.